back. Finally. It's been 6 months since the last upload. The good reason for that. I mean, I went over. I needed to get PC parts. Not even upgrades per se, just new parts. I kind of limited on how much I can upgrade it by both money and the really annoying electrical situation. Caused the need to replace the parts in the first place. Which only sort of gets solved by a UPS. Granted. Not entirely. Kind of. But I'd also need to be able to buy a UPS, which I haven't been able to do. Subsist on hopes and prayers here. That's... yeah. Mostly just hope, really. Not super religious. Super religious. That's neither here nor there. It's not my first time recording this. Let's just say there's been a couple of reasons. One, there was an issue with the keying, which, if you're unaware, it's a term used in editing. You can also key someone's car, I guess, technically, but it doesn't apply here. That's a little weird to try and make it apply here. No, in this context of editing, keying is when the background is not one that you want to have, right? So I'm recording for a video, right? I'm using a model personally, but you could do it with normal video. You could do it with a stock image, whatever. In my case, I use mostly 3D keying because it's better for nominally 3D objects. It's technically more meant for action footage, but it works for mine too. And the other one I tried was Luma keying, which is... accomplishes basically the same thing, but is maybe a little more precise. I'm not super sure on the differences. Anyway, before this background, I was using a dark gray one. Granted, okay, the first time I tried to record it was at the same time as the footage you're seeing in the background of Umusume. So when you have an alpha layer that you want to appear as transparent, when it's recorded, it's just black, if there's nothing behind it. So that didn't work out, because there's just a black splotch that looked kind of like a shadowy eldritch hand behind my neck, which is kind of weird. Didn't like that. Also, it was just not cleanly done, and all ADHD autism, so I wasn't going to settle for that. That was going to bug the hell out of me. Cue take 2, which was not like the second attempt to... actually, no, that was the second attempt at recording. Never mind. Take 2, which was with the background in VTube Studio that I was using at the time, which is the dark gray. Which, for whatever reason, worked fine when streaming, with literally no issues. OBS handles it just fine. But DaVinci Resolve disagreed, I guess, or something. Because it made the bottom half of my shirt disappear. Not in a fun way. No, it just literally see-through transparent, so. Not great. Then I did some testing, trying to figure out a color that I liked to A, look at, because I'm going to be looking at it, and it needs to not sear up my retina. And that actually works with the model, because, I mean, monochrome. Can't use the blue of the eyes, because then the eyes disappear and are see-through. Just really creepy, trust me, you don't need to see that. And not clash with the colors in general. I tried orange, for instance. That was interesting. Not good. Very garish. But interesting. And so here we are. Lavender, I guess? I feel like lavender's a little darker, but whatever. Close enough. It's lavender. It gets a little bit of a lavender outline because there's only so much I can only cut it so close. Because then the details in the ears and whatnot start disappearing, and also the clothing that I don't know why I tried to move my arm like that would do anything. A, 2D model. B, pre-made. I don't even have like an expression for that. Is that the right term? Whatever, there's no animation for that. Definitely so. So, that would do nothing. But, here we are. To the main point. That might have all been cut out, I'm not super sure. I have a basic outline that I want to follow for this. Which is where I've been, which I've kind of covered. What am I doing with this? It's current plans. And then stuff that I really want to do in the future. I don't know if that's going to be in the video, but I'm gonna record it. It's gonna mean that it has to be in the video at this point, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So, yeah, I kind of covered more, but also, I mean, there's obviously mental health stuff going on there. I don't know if this is mostly autism or ADHD, but I get a lot of ideas. Yeah, that's not the part that I'm talking about, but we're getting to that. I get a lot of ideas, and you're probably wondering, then why don't we see any of that? Well, because I get the idea. I guess the best way to put it, with a visual sort of impact sense, I guess, is then reality kicks me in the face. Because there's so many things that come up, like, oh, there's a bunch of new skills that I'd have to learn. Which you're probably thinking, well, then just learn those skills. Basically, I want to do it then. I have the idea then. I have the motivation to do it then. But then there's one roadblock. Sometimes there's two roadblocks. Sometimes there's more than that. And just thinking about it, never mind doing it, is already exhausting, and then the moment's gone, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm just sad that I can't do the thing that I want to do. That might just be a creative brain sort of thing. I don't really know. There's a lot of stuff that it could be. The human brain is very interesting and complex. But there's that. Or there's just a bunch of actual life stuff that happens to pop up. Like, for instance, when I recorded this earlier, I found that I was talking way too quietly because my grandparents are over visiting for 2 weeks randomly. They live an entire state away. So, oh, and they don't know that I'm trans. Yeah, that hasn't been covered yet. So you can say that might be slightly awkward. As I'm talking somewhat loudly as necessary to actually be picked up, and then enunciating instead of being shy and being super nervous, because this is autism more than anything. Just a break in routine, and then also, I'm shy by nature. So them being in the other room, potentially able to overhear. Yeah. Every time I start getting momentum, I swear, something comes up. But hey, that's life. It'd be boring if everything was easy. It would be nice to get slightly less hiccups. Okay, that would be good. Not that How to Train Your Dragon character. You knew that. Anyway, so that's been a part of it. The other part is I wanted to get over that stuff because I was doing better with it, even with aforementioned reality. But I didn't want to appear and then disappear again but it took way longer than I wanted to. I tend to like getting things done a little faster, but I already tried that, and I overdid it, and so then I had to take time off, and that was the entire first break in the first place, and then PC issues, like I said earlier. Lots of stress. But anyway, yeah. I don't know about more sturdy or robust, but more capable of rolling with the punches at the very least. Which is good. Once I'm on a finite timeline, but I have things that I want to do, and I want to be able to do them, I need to do other things, like turn this into a career. Or find something else to do as a career that I can actually do with all of the shenanigans in my life that are still getting over depression. That tends to stick around for a while. Like most stuff that is brain related. It's not as simple as just healing a broken arm or a cut, right? It's just mental stuff. It's tricky. Draining. It's a lot easier to tell, I guess, when physical injuries have healed, because they're gone. They don't physically hurt anymore when you move a specific body part or whatever, right? You're not left with tiny little things that'll trigger it. I mean, yeah, you get the like, you break your leg, a bunch of whatever, if it's a particularly bad break. You're able to more accurately guess the weather from then on. It doesn't really stop you from doing a lot, though, unless it was catastrophically so. But hey, I mean, you know, that's an outlier. Between depression, autism, and ADHD, I like to say rather, that I picked too many debuffs on spawn. Can you tell that I play video games? I don't know if I gave it away. Weird. But yeah, I've rambled on about that for too long. It's only been 15 minutes actually, that's not bad. Last couple of times I tried to record something, it was hours long. And then I guess I figured something out. Less heavy scripting, but also not zero scripting or idea of what I want to do and talk about. I need a framework. Yeah, this applies to life too. But I like spontaneity and freeform stuff. So it's, as with many things that I do, somewhere in between. It's a mix of freeform and structure. Order and chaos. Is it easy? Oh, hell no. It's not. But it's me. Which I think with a lot of things, but especially with content creation, anything where you're not just playing games, authenticity is really important. Not being realistic, per se, but just being authentically you. How you react to stuff, what sort of games you play, if you do play games, what you talk about, if you talk about stuff. It needs to be authentic to your personality and interests. Otherwise the viewer can tell. And in the year 2025, it is not just you and a couple other people who can put videos up on the internet, right? Anyone with a phone can. It's that easy now. That shifts the scale of quality by a little bit. But it just means that what will make you successful is what makes you unique. Anyone can do React content. But it doesn't mean that you can't do React content in the way that you do React content that will succeed. Did I mean to talk about content creation again? No, but it's something that I think about a lot, as I'm sure you can imagine. And it's still technically relevant to this whole topic that I had spent like 3 minutes talking. Okay. Well, where did I leave off? Well, before I went on an authenticity tangent, the challenges that presents, and yeah, okay, so I need to turn this into a career because there's not a lot of things that I can realistically do where I set my own hours. Can take a break when I need to. Not that there's a lot of breaks in content creation, but it's not like I'm inherently lazy. Actually, really like doing stuff. Typically more active, but we'll talk about that later. So I did a lot of thinking. And I've come to the conclusion that I like things that are cinematic and challenging. I believe the line I have on my Twitch is because a lot of the most cinematic moments come from adversity. Probably isn't much of a surprise. That kind of learned that on extraction shooters is the thing that I want to do. Not as it. I don't know if I'd stream them. Partially because I don't know if my PC could, and FPS is sort of important in those. Also graphical fidelity. But also just because, as a general rule, when you're recording, well, streaming something, you kind of need double whatever FPS that you actually want. It's not a hard, fast thing, but it does tend to put at least half again as much load on your PC to try to stream something, especially if you have, I don't know, a VTuber model or something. That's a random aside. Crazy. I know, it's theoretical. Okay. It's not a hard fast thing. I used that already. Moving on. I've been playing a lot of Arena Breakout Infinite because it's free, but also because my PC can actually handle it, and I think maybe I could stream it if I want to. I might have to turn the settings all the way down, but I think I could do it. As long as it's not turning everything to pixels when I do that, then we should be good to go. The other one that I'm really looking forward to, though, is Arc Raiders. Because if there's one thing that is true of extraction shooters, it's that they print cinematic moments. You're either being chasing, or you have many a high-stress situation where you have to land a really clutch shot, or you've got a bunch of loot and a team wanders by and you can hear him stomping around with impunity given by the fact that they are a group of people. And well, it's just normal human things, but you're alone. As I tend to be. I don't. One, random's gonna be kind of a mixed bag in any game. There's no friendly fire in Arena Breakout, sure, but I'm also shy. I believe I might have mentioned that, so I don't really like playing with random strangers. Which is why the, what do you call that, feature in that game, which even if you do make a squad with your teammate, other people can just join? For some reason. By default. That might have been a bug. I don't really know. But it's very annoying to me, because I have to constantly, it's not literally constantly, but it's often enough to be annoying, decline their request to join the team. I get it, a lot of people like playing with a team, but I've been playing FPSs especially for Modern Warfare 2. That's when I started. Oh boy, what a time to experience Xbox Live lobbies was even less openly trans than I am now. So that wasn't an issue, at least. But yeah, the Wild West of gaming, indeed. But yeah, that's the sort of thing I've decided I want to do. Is attraction shooters. Really, nominally anything that gives that sort of feeling and vibe, but I don't really want to do single-player games because that runs the ability for you guys to experience the story, and I know a lot of people like watching, and I do this too, admittedly, someone that they enjoy being entertained by play a game that they're interested in, or that they've played, or that they maybe want to play. There's a lot of reason that people watch content creators. It's part advertisement, part entertainment. It feels like, at least for the larger creators. So like, I get it. It's nice to see someone else enjoy something that you enjoy. And I'm sure there will be stuff that I will do along those lines. I need variety. Brain gets bored. With extraction shooters, every round is something different. You can take different weapons, you can play in different map, you have different people in the game pretty definitively. AI spawns slightly different loot. Each one is a fresh experience. It's rife with cinematic opportunity. Not every single one's going to be that. Some of them are pretty boring. But, well, does this work as an analogy? Kind of like sports. You don't play them, at least I don't, play them for the stomping the other team or just run-of-the-mill goals or passes or plays. You play for the 1%. Maybe a little bit more than 1%, but you take my point. The pass that you had to thread through 3 other people on their team, the shot that you had to take between 2 trees that are like 10 feet apart from honestly, like anything over 20 feet, that's going to be pretty difficult. It's not a lot of time to react and also get your reticle on target. So yeah, you don't play for the run-of-the-mill moments, the everyday opportunity, the average fish in the lake. You play for the one big one, right? Otherwise, why bother, I guess? I feel like it's kind of human nature to aim big, right? There's multiple sayings about it after all. One of the most notable is, if you shoot for the moon and miss, at least you'll land amongst the stars. Which, I mean, if you think about it literally, is a horrible thing, because you're just drifting off into deep space. Not great. But if you take it a little more metaphorically, even if you don't achieve the dream that you had, the exact target you set out to hit, you're still better off than you were. You learned something, or you made progress towards another attempt. There's a lot that it could be. It's not just, oh, it's over, it's gone, it's done. Which is kind of impossible to like smoothly segue, but that's current, mostly current. But part of the current thing that I want to do, or will be doing, ties into future plans. Which, if I'm being honest, I more of want to make this a career so that I can do those plans, right? So that I can earn the money to do those plans, than I do just want the money. I don't. I care about money in as far as it can get me things. That's about all. I mean, that's all it's really good for, is to get you stuff. It doesn't do me good to have millions sitting in my bank account, unable to be used. Kind of pointless in my mind. So, what I want to do, somewhat unsurprisingly, I'm sure if you were listening to the somewhat rambling experience this has been till now, it's kind of late. By kind of late, I mean it's 12:30. Because I needed to wait for the grandparentals to go to sleep. They're out in their trailer because dog allergies. We have 3 dogs. It works for this at the very least. Welcome to my luck. It's very much I get what I need and not necessarily what I want, but that's, I mean, it could be worse by a lot. But I want to do 3D animated scenes. Doesn't sound super exciting, right? But I mean, ever since I saw Machinimas way back when, I've wanted to do something like that. Except, me being me, I like being physical. I was active for basically my entire life up until college. And depression caught up. So, I still like moving around and doing stuff. Sometimes dance to music randomly in our room, sometimes because why the hell not? No one else can see. It's fun to just move around. I like music. That's probably putting it mildly, actually. I don't know how to succinctly describe how I feel about music. I don't know if I'd say it's my everything, but I will say that anytime that I hear a song, my first thought is, what scene in like a movie or whatever would this fit best? Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it tragic? Tale of a hero attempting to save the day and failing? Is it them pushing through hardship and saving the day? It's kind of any number of things it could be. But it's fun to put a tune to a scene. So while I can't currently do my own music as much as I'd like to, I still have no idea what track I'm going with for the background on this. It'll probably inevitably be something I'm not perfectly happy with, but that fits the vibe, I guess, hopefully. I don't love the music that I use for stream and whatnot, which is just the Heartbound soundtrack, because it's solid music and less likely to get copyright struck, which I just don't want to deal with. As much as I'd love to do my music for just in general, I want to do it for those scenes. I want to put a song to a 3D animated scene that I basically voice acting for on top of actual acting, because I wanted, it's the point of the 3D bit. 3D models are a thing, also expensive, but you know, we're talking about dreams, not, oh no, there's no other but. We're just talking about dreams. Yeah, it's expensive, but so what? Some people want a Lamborghini. I would prefer to get a 3D model and a PC that can run all of that to actually put these things together. I also want to create landscapes in Unreal, because it's most likely to fit. I think you can do like an anime filter, sort of, just animated. Prefer that style. VTuber, who would have guessed? And that's the dream. 3D animated scenes. Probably gonna have to get other people involved. Realistically, I can't reasonably do all of that myself on a time scale that I be happy with, shall we say. But it is a thing that I want to do really, really badly. That's the end goal. The interim, which ties into that, is I need to practice. I both need to get my voice into a place that I'm happy with, which, as you might have guessed, it's currently not. No, I know I can do a lot better, but my nerves get to me. Habit gets to me. And then I just get, what's the word? Subconscious about it? Self-conscious about it. And then it degrades further. So I need practice. But I need a reason to practice because ADHD. Just wanting it is not enough of a defined goal to scrounge up the energy to do so. That doesn't mean I'm doing 2D scenes, that's entirely more drawing that I'm capable of doing. Okay. I haven't decided if I want to involve the model or not, because I don't know how I would do that. But if I did do that, it would look different. Might be a premium model, but I specifically got one that I can edit so that I can, personalize it. I needed that at the very least. Some might call that an ego thing. Maybe you're right, but I wouldn't be happy if I couldn't. So, c'est la vie. That would also be on a separate channel because that's just how YouTube content works. Don't lie. No, be honest with yourself. You go to specific creators for specific content. It's fine. I'm pretty sure just about everyone does. Heck, there's even people, you go to a content creator, right, for a specific thing, and whenever they don't do the thing, you might like them, but you don't watch it, because you don't. Brain compartmentalization. Just didn't start watching them for that. It's why technically the best thing to do in content creation is to stick to one thing. That is the most efficient and reliable method. No arguments here. But at the start of the year, I gave myself a set of rules, you could say, to keep myself on track. And they're why I'm still here doing this, other than the fact that no, not even. Still here doing this, because as much as I love doing this, I love talking with you guys, I like creating videos and talking about stuff. Obviously playing the games is nice, but I'd be doing that anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. But I digress. Slow, smooth, no, that's the wrong one. Have fun, be myself. Start at the end instead of the beginning, it's my bad. Don't hesitate, do things my way, and slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And I feel like the first two are pretty self-explanatory. Have fun, be myself. That's part of the reason why I started doing content creation, was to get better at being myself, get more comfortable at being myself. It is a lot easier to do when I can kind of gaslight myself into thinking that I'm talking to myself, especially if I'm recording a video, because then I'm literally talking to myself, at least in the moment. Then it is first off, you're gonna go talk to IRL people, and you gotta find the people, which means leaving the house. And there's a couple of reasons I'm not super fond of doing that. Can you guess? Probably. I don't think it's super obscure. That works, sure. Not the correct word. It's the word I was aiming for, but it is true. So, that kind of works. I kind of like that. Anyway, second part. Don't hesitate, do things my way. I have a tendency to do both. Either because I over-explain, thank you, autism, or I, due to very poor self-esteem, second guess near on everything, which has taken a lot of time to unwind. Still not done with it, but getting better. I tend to do best when I just trust in my gut and do things. It's like I know what I can and can't do, right? In terms of capability. So, it's not usually a problem. I have pretty good intuition. What is a problem is when I hesitate and then miss the opportunity because I hesitated. That'll happen a lot with hesitation, which I just said also a lot. Many uses. Do things my way is also sort of tying into that, but it means be true to myself. Do the things the way that I do them, the way that works best for me, not just because it's what everyone else does. Doesn't mean I need to make things more difficult. Okay. If everyone else walks over the bridge and you decide you need to like climb down, walk across, and then climb back up on the other side, that doesn't make sense. But if everyone else walks across the bridge and you decide that skipping is actually just more efficient for you, then whatever, you do you. Easier said than done, but it's a work in progress. And the last one, which probably needs the most explaining, because technically a quote from a movie. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast, don't force it. Don't force it is technically separate, but it basically means do things as quickly as you can while doing them correctly. Because at the end of the day, it takes way more time to completely redo something than it does to take a little bit longer to get it right the first time. Alternatively, measure twice, cut once, for those of you who are more into the carpentry side of things. And the last one, don't force it, is pretty, don't force it. Because even though I really want to jump into doing a lot of things, I can't, energy-wise. I can't capability-wise or just comfort-wise. All of which are valid reasons to not do something, never mind all three together. So, here we are doing one stream a week, and planned from here on out is one video a week. I am not going to promise more than that. There might be more than that, but I can't promise more than that because that is currently what I can guarantee putting out. And if anything, the video has to come first. As much as I like streaming. Streaming is fun for me, but streaming is unlikely to grow on its own from just streaming. Not in 2025. VTubing is no longer new. Streaming itself is no longer new. Just doing it isn't going to draw people in. You need to actually do something. You don't have to be doing backflips or anything, right? But, like I said, you need to be unique to yourself. Otherwise you're just a one in a million. And so here we are. Just one fox trying to find her way through this muddled mess that is content creation and life in general, with technically just a video update. This is more of a blog than future ones will probably be. Just by nature of, I feel like I need to put out there where I've been, and then I might as well talk about what I'm doing, and then hey, why not, let's talk about what I want to do in the future. And I'm sure that talking about money will turn some people off, but whatever. Like, it's a part of life. It's a reality. Even if I didn't say it, who gets into anything without being able to make money at it, right? Like, that's the dream for anything. You might like doing woodworking and wood carving, but if you can earn money from it, that's even better. Music, same thing. especially. There's a saying that you should never do anything that you're good at for free. Layers to that, but basically if you can do something well, then if you don't need to do it for free, don't. If you enjoy doing it, sure. But if you can enjoy doing it while earning money, then why wouldn't you? You need money to live after all. You need food, water, electricity. You need internet, especially for content creation, but even just in general in this day and age. Not having access to some sort of internet is just, I mean, can you imagine that? Like, if you're not on, even if you're not on Twitter, you're watching videos. If you're not watching videos, you're watching streams. If you're not watching streams, you're reading something. You're looking at pictures of the people you're talking in chat rooms. It's something. Something online. Maybe you weren't able to play games. Maybe you weren't able to do the video editing that you want to do. But you do something. Because it's just intrinsically woven into society. Where I've been, what I want to do, and where I'm going. Covered all of it. That's it. I'm always super weird on how to close out these videos, because it's like, it never feels, this might be one of my biggest problems, like I've done enough. There's no defined end. I could go for hours technically. It's been 50 minutes. Actually, come to think of it. But there's no clear-cut end. And so I tend to just find myself rambling, because I do that a lot. Are you talking about the girl who's first time on, you know those buses that are like an accordion in the center? First time on one of those, and the only thing I thought is, how does that work? Because a bus is the shape that it is normally because structural integrity, right? And yeah, that shape's not great for going around corners because it is a large rectangle, but there's not really any danger of it falling apart or going over some hard bumps. Presumably it's the same with those other buses, although I get the feeling they're probably much higher maintenance. But how do they work? Do they go in a straight line, even though, I mean, conventional physics, from a layman's standpoint, you'd expect it pushing in the back to just bunch it up and then push it off course, because it's not all connected. It's not solid, right? So how does that work? I don't know. Never did find out. Because you're also talking about the girl who forgot about that the second she got off the bus. Except for when my brain randomly brings it up. Yeah. So that's where we are. Someone's having a bad day. If you think about it, it's not really great. You hear emergency sirens go by and you're like, It's just always kind of a reminder that, oh, right. Whatever you're, maybe not whatever, but like, average life stuff, maybe having a bad day, whatever it is, it could be going a lot worse. So this is gonna sound maybe slightly hypocritical coming from me, but one of the most important things you can do is enjoy life. It's not always gonna be perfect. It's not always gonna be exactly what you want it to be. But even in between the jobs and obligations, etc., have fun. Just have fun. I do this because it's fun. Yes, I want to turn it into a career, but I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't fun. or I'd be doing a faceless channel, right? Partially, I don't want to because it's a lot of research on stuff that's not really interesting to me. ADHD. But I've always preferred the more emotional element, which is harder to do with it. Sure, I could do endless platitudes of motivational videos and how to succeed, but anyone can look that up. Anyone can do that. Sure, my content tends to be a little more towards the relaxing side because of how I speak, cadence-wise, and I guess technically the sound of my voice. Tonal-wise, I guess, would be the best way to put that. Is what it is. Be myself, right? I'm Casey Rosa, which you now understand a bit better than you did in the beginning. And, I mean, if you like, leave a like. It really does help out. So, subscriptions, I think, are more of a vanity metric than anything, but I mean, if you want to see more from me, once a week at least, you're probably never going to see it again otherwise. Just the way YouTube works. I'm not a big channel. I'm not even a small channel. I'm a tiny channel. Microscopic even. So, if you don't subscribe, well, hopefully you enjoyed it, because there's really no guarantee we'll see each other again. No pressure. Yeah, normal YouTube stuff. With, I suppose, my little twist thrown in because I'm awkward as hell. Whatever. Anyway, before I ramble further, that is all for me. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in the next one. Later.
URA ファイナルズ準決勝を制しました。頂点まであと一つ、決勝へと